You have to be careful. Hey, you're going to be needed in this room for a meeting. And you're like, I'd never heard of this meeting. You may not want to go to the meeting.
Before we begin, let's thank our great sponsors. And if you want information on how to become one, you can go to jasonbailey.com. Much love to Inspect All Pest Services, because bugs, termites, and critters, they don't belong in your house. Inspect All handles pest control, termite protection, and wildlife removal. Here's the number one reason to use them. One company that does it right the first time. Bonus, they also take care of insulation, pressure washing, and gutter maintenance all across Atlanta. Less calls, less stress, better results. InspectAllServices.com. If life makes you Google lawyer, call the Aurora Law Firm, led by the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora. This Georgia-based team handles criminal defense, white-collar cases, DUI, expungements, and more. Nationwide, number one reason to call the Mad Dog, they know the system and how to beat it. The Aurora Law Firm, because oops needs backup. TheAuroraLawFirm.com. Life gets heavy. Stress, work, relationships, all of it. That's where Ridgeline Counseling can help. Led by Dr. David Markwell and a team of 10 therapists, Ridgeline offers in-person sessions at 3 of his Georgia locations: East Cobb, Marietta, and McKaysville, or virtual visits wherever you're at and most comfortable with. Number one reason to choose Ridgeline, you don't have to do it alone. Ridgeline Counseling. Real help when you need it. MarkwellTherapy.com. Power goes out, not at your house, if you call Alternate Power Solutions. They're a family-owned Generac generator dealer, founded in 2012, handling sales, installation, service, and repair for home standby and portable generators across Georgia and Tennessee. Here's the number one reason to use them. You don't pay a dime until the job is done and you're 100% happy. Every customer gets an upgraded warranty, free monitoring with a service contract, flexible financing, and they actually keep generators and parts in stock, plus an A+ rating with the BBB. All you have to do is call 770-853-7571 or visit poweringgeorgia.com for a free home assessment. Use the discount code Bailey for $500 off your entire installation. Alternate Power Solutions, because losing power shouldn't mean losing your mind. Tired of struggling to get in and out of the tub? Meet MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower of Atlanta. Beautiful, safe, and affordable bathing solutions that actually make your bathroom work for you. This family-owned local company focuses on installations that elevate comfort and accessibility. No high-pressure sales, no commission-only reps, just honest, hassle-free service across Metro Atlanta. Here's the number one reason to call MVP. They make bathing safe, easy, and enjoyable. Schedule your no-hassle appointment, 404-493-6888, or you can go online to nvpwalkins.com. Don't forget to mention the BPX, the Bailey Podcast Exchange, for $2,000 off MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower, because your bathroom should feel like a retreat, not a workout. Looking for the ultimate wellness boost? Meet a live ozone therapy spa. Central Florida's first and only ozone therapy spa. From ozone therapy to red light therapy, halo therapy, presso therapy, PEMF grounding mats, and even in-house ozone-infused products. A live ozone therapy spa's got everything to help you feel amazing, inside and out. Repair, rejuvenate, and restore your body. Here's the number one reason to try a live ozone therapy spa, because they combine cutting-edge therapies with natural holistic care. Go online to AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com. Use the discount code BS10 for 10% off your services and products. Live Ozone Therapy Spa, because feeling your best shouldn't be optional. Thanks to all of our sponsors. And with that being said, let's begin the show.
I think we should do a podcast about rock and roll. And that's some stories.
Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to the Vinyl Road Podcast.
Yeah, there it is. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry New Year.
Happy New Year.
Merry New Year.
Merry New Year to you.
In our country, it's Happy New Year. I fucking love Eddie Murphy, dude. He's so
fucking
good.
Love that movie. It's the
Coming
best.
to me. Oh god, dude. Oh no, that was fine. That was Trading Places, wasn't
Trading
it?
Places. Yeah,
That's
what do
what it
I think? Trading Places. That's right.
Yes,
Yeah, Trading
yes.
Places.
Yeah,
It's episode 30 of the Vinyl Road Podcast. It's all in the BPX, by the way. That is the Bailey Podcast Exchange. So if you're not familiar, there are actually 3 different shows, 5 days a week, or whenever the fuck you want to watch them on the BPX. That is the Bailey Podcast Exchange. If you'd like details on how it all works with the different shows that are on the BPX, please go to jasonbailey.com. Keep in mind, 2 of those are subscription shows. So if you're looking to do something in the new year that's well worth your while, that would mean subscribe to the episodes of the Bailey Show podcast on the BPX. Also on the website, there's merchandise. And it seemed like over the last couple of weeks, there's a couple Vinyl Road t-shirts that went out the door. That was nice.
Maybe some coffee cups, some hats, some fun stuff. I know some folks that got some stuff. Yeah, man.
There's all kinds of good shit up there. So, yeah.
Still available, too, by the way.
It is always available, by the way. And I'll do a better job on the social media and all the shows of the social media at the Vinyl Road podcast. I'll do a better job of letting you guys know when all the sales are going on. I'm actually getting beat up by the merchandise lady that I deal with. Uh-oh. And she's like, I'm not seeing a spike in views. I'm like, how the fuck do you even see that? Like, what are you looking at? So I was like, well, send me the information and I'll put it out. I put something out the other day, and I guess that's what got a couple people buying some merchandise. So, but there's cool shit up there, and there'll be some more stuff that's put up there. So anyway, jasonbailey.com. All right. Thanks for being here. My name is Jason Bailey. There's the man himself, Mr. Brad Stewart. Hello, Mr. Brad Stewart. How are you?
Howdy.
I'll get you an applause here in a second. There we go.
Baby, it's cold outside. Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
So Florida Nipply, man, that Florida Nipply that we experienced.
I tell you what, like record lows. I think in Jacksonville tonight, it's going to feel like 24 degrees. There was actually a severe weather warning. And I'm wondering, is that just because we're in Florida? Would that be severe in Minnesota or somewhere? Probably not.
No.
They're like, fuck, dude, it's going to be cold. Like, figure it out. Figure out your life, your pets, whatever's going to go on, because even though it says it's going to be 33 or 34, it's going to feel like 20 something, right?
Yeah. Jacksonville's nice. Like, if I wouldn't mind living in Jacksonville. I've been there a few times, but Jacksonville's a nice kind of happy medium between, Florida life and getting that tropical stuff going on, but then, a little bit out of the year.
Yeah.
Feeling a little seasonal during fall, because you got that wind coming from the Atlantic, and I'm not a huge Atlantic guy, I'm more of a Gulf Coast guy, but it's nice. I like Jacksonville. You're in a good spot. Now you got a football team too. So
man, hey, it's only taken 30 years, but hey, no, we're set up, man. I know you've been following it. I know, hey man, we started really bad. I was like, okay, same old Jaguars. And, I think between the coach and some of the moves that were made in the offseason with the players. And, I think Trevor is finally figuring out, the NFL. Because, he figured, obviously, dude, he was a superstar in college. Mm-hmm. You get to the pros, I don't think he lost a game in college. He lost some games in the pros, dude. We're like, what the fuck, man? Then they give him all that money. I'm like, this year was do or die, right?
What Liam Cohen has been able to do, and, you got to expect that with a new head coach. You're going to have some bumps in the road, but you look at the resilience from that team, and you see that with a couple other teams in the NFL. Not that they're going to make the playoffs like the Saints, or not that they're going to make the playoffs like Tennessee, but you see the progression of the team with the new regime. If you learn anything, and this is only if you're a football fan, but if you learn anything about the success the Jacksonville Jaguars have had this year, and the lesson that you take from it is that if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you hire talent and you promote talent. You don't let talent go to another football program.
In the same state as yours.
That is the world we live in, though. It is, dude, I could go off on the over-encompassing thought process behind letting someone with talent go because you don't feel they fit into the mold or whatever the case may be. It's like the idea of non-competes. So I don't know about in the music business, if there's even such thing as a non-compete, but I can tell you in the radio business, once you get fired, let go, leave, whatever the case may be, they won't allow you to work for, on most part, 6 months, right? You probably know this from Barry's brother, right? Chumley. And so,
actually, from being in a band under contract, you couldn't, if you were fired from the band, you couldn't say that you were Brad Stewart from that band for X amount of time.
Really?
So same kind of shit. Yeah, I couldn't go, hey, I just got fired. I'm ready to join this band. And you join another band, and then they say, it's Brad Stewart from this band, because contractually you couldn't say that. Now, if you quit, it was different. If you quit, right. Either way, a leaving member had to abide by certain rules. You get sued.
Was that one of the big band?
It was. Hey, I agreed to it. I signed the deal, and it was part of the initial contract that Brent had already signed, that we were absorbed into that contract. So he had already agreed to those terms. And they're like, well, either you want to be in the band and agree to it, or you don't, and you're not in the fucking band. Next, so that's how that was.
So was that awkward? Like if you did an interview 6 months after you getting fired from Shinedown, and the radio guy or somebody would say, it's Brad Stewart, formerly of Shinedown. Was that like weird, cringy look you give, like, whoa?
Yeah, it was more like, I guess for them, it's more like, they don't want you using, because you have to imagine they spent a lot of money on you. The label did. They developed you as an artist within the confines of the band. But now you're going to get to just, whether you quit or get fired, now you can just go next door to the next company,
right?
And now they've made you a superstar, or not me, of course, but they made you some kind of star on some kind of level. And now you just walk next door because you're not happy in your other band or in the band. And now you all of a sudden can use all that, promotion and stuff that they gave to you in this new company for yourself and for them. And so I understand the logic, but it was, and then there was a time, maybe it was a year, whatever it was, then the year's up, and then you could say whatever you want, but.
Well, I don't understand. That was my point, is the logic behind a non-compete makes zero sense to me. If you don't want that person, then you should want that person to go to your competition or do something outside of what you're doing, because you obviously deemed that person not worthy. So you're like, okay, let's give the problem to them as fast as possible. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, at least from the radio standpoint. So if you're in one market and you get fired, you can't walk across the street for 6 months and go on the air, take your following. They just want you to not make a living. They only give you 3 months of severance usually. Mm-hmm. So you got 3 months to make up for.
Yeah.
And they don't care about feeding the family, feeding the kids, so on and so forth. And then, before social media, you would become non-existent for the most part. Like you could not stay in touch with your audience, but your audience, radio listeners are fair weather, just like probably music lovers, right? I mean, we don't want to say it because we don't want to upset anybody, but for the most part, I can speak from the radio side of things. Radio listeners are fair weather. When you're there and you're convenient and you're providing something for them, they love you more than God himself.
Right.
But the second that you're out of sight, out of mind, or they have to go like just a little bit out of their way to listen or support, not interested. And they'll turn on you in a heartbeat. I've seen it. It's happening to me right now,
and good luck getting that back immediately. Never. You have to build it back or ever. I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, for my situation, there was never even really a formal press release or reason given. It was just kind of like, hey, what happened to the bass player? Like no one ever said shit. And then, I think I said some things on MySpace, but we ended up signing contracts after the fact that we wouldn't basically trash each other publicly, them towards me or me towards them. So then it became, when the subject would come up, and still to this day, I honor that. I don't really say what happened. I just kind of go, well, sometimes things don't work out, and I had to move on. And thankfully I did. I, joined Fuel and later on Saliva. But, it's one of those things where, okay, if you trash us publicly or in the press, we can sue you or we can fuck you over. So obviously I didn't go that route. Neither did they. So,
but honestly, in your situation, Brad, angry at the moment, still probably to the day, you got a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, but when it's all said and done, there's no malice towards the fellas.
There's not, man. For me, it's more malice towards the situation, right? Because I just feel like at my age, I'm probably will never start a band from nothing, zero, and come into a contract with, on a label that big with management that big and booking agents that big and then a following that we built from the ground up together. And I felt like I was a huge part of that. And we ate crow and we did a lot of stuff in the early days to build it. And that was the main thing for me, man, is I felt like that was, it's like, that was part of my child. It was kind of like having children, man. And now I can't see my kid anymore grow up. And that was the main thing. And I think we were all in a different place mentally too, in our lives and stuff too. I mean, it was a different, 2007 was a different time for everybody, and again, and especially since I got to go on stage with them earlier this year, man, I was able to finally forgive and move past it, man. But 18 years later, it took me a long time. And I actually carried around a lot of that resentment and bitterness. And I didn't even want to listen to their new music. I'd be like, oh, fuck, man. I'd come on and I'd be like, next, like change it. And then people would always come up to me, man, weren't you in that band? Yeah, I love Sound of Madness. And I'm like, well, I was out by then, but thanks. And then I had to tell them, you got to go back a little further to old 45 supplement, or Heroes or I Dare You, or whatever. So it was, watch behind the music or watch any band situation, man. Things don't always, and it sucks because the fans are used to it. I'm dealing with it still to this day in Saliva, man. They're still used to having a certain singer and certain guitarist and drummer, bass, the whole thing, man. And when that's no longer there, they either jump ship or they talk shit, or they hate on you, or they.
Let me ask you a very serious. I know we like to keep it light and fun on this podcast, but I'm curious. I want to ask you a serious, personal question. You ready?
Yes. Go ahead.
Do you think that you, Brad Stewart, is defined by the job?
The job of being a bassist in rock bands, basically, correct, or for that rock band in particular?
No, just a rock star in general.
I don't think I ever let it define me. No, because I do other things, and it's like, I have a college degree. I do real estate. I do things to where I wouldn't really let it define me, I guess. I do cruise around with dreadlocks and a certain attitude and towards life and a certain freedom too, because thankfully I was able to make a good living, even in the early days, and I still get royalties and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. That's a tough question, dude, because I will say without it, I was fucking miserable, dude. Like whenever it just came at a time where it was the end of the second record cycle when I got fired and basically, ended at the moment my music career. I did now if I was on cycle, like I told you before, Rob Zombie, they'd approached me when Blasco was leaving to join Rob Zombie, and I turned him down because I was an OG member of that band Shinedown, and man, it was like, no, plus I'm under contract. I'm not just going to walk to go be a hired gun at Rob Zombie. He could fire me the next tour or even the next day. And where's that leave me too? You know what I mean? So it was, but when that happened, dude, I went back to my job at Bacardi testing rum. Talk about kicking the fucking balls. It's a good job, don't get me wrong. And I was able to use my degree, but here I had to go back to the beginning, to the bottom of the totem pole. I'm third shift. I'm going in at 11 o'clock at night, getting off at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's fucking, meanwhile, I've just been, in Europe and or wherever, playing Rock am Ring, Rock am Park in Germany. And we went to Iraq and we did all kinds of shit, and so, man, that's a tough question, man. I think maybe as a musician, I guess I am defined as a musician, but I try, I don't know, man. I try to have other things to where if I get fired again, I could still survive and live, So
I guess maybe I'm still searching for it. That's a question that I asked myself. That's why I asked you.
Okay.
Because I struggle with it. I struggle with it daily. And I've always kind of had that Gen X vibe when it came to feelings and emotions and, I don't need that shit. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not going to let that beat me. And I've always been optimistic and positive. And, I've had a life hit list of, I'll prove you wrong. But because of my industry changing, and as angry as I am at the industry and a lot of people in the industry, because a lot of them are the same, cut from the same fucking cloth.
They are.
It's gross. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. And then you see people that are just, bless your hearts, but incompetent and not good at doing what you do. But I know why you're there. And so all these different things happen. And there's a lot of, call us OG now, I guess, radio people that aren't doing what we're good at doing and what we have had success doing. There's a lot of similarities between us, just in different kind of worlds.
Sure.
And you see people take their own lives. You see that see that all the time in the rock business, right?
For sure.
The music business. And I think it's because we find ourselves defined by our jobs. And you can always be a musician. I mean, you can join, Johnny's jam band and play up the street at the Crab Shack on Friday nights.
Totally.
And satisfy your performing urges and needs and all that stuff.
Right.
Like you said, a couple of years ago, you were in front of 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And people, you have security because so many people want your picture and your autograph. So there's that side of things. I don't know. I struggle with it. I struggle.
I do too, man. And, when we went to see him at Madison Square Garden, I was proud. I was like, I'm proud that I was a part of creating that monster. And because there were times in New York City where we couldn't get arrested in New York. Like K-Rock, New York did not play our band. They're like, oh, no, we already have a Nickelback. Thanks. That's what they said to Bill McGathy. We were like, whoa, wow. Fuck, okay, I guess that's so. I mean, we would play, like, when we'd go to New York City, we'd play Irving Plaza, which it's not a tiny room, but it's not the Garden by any means, dude. I mean, maybe, what is it, 1,200 people, or we'd play, the smaller room, and New York is huge. Fuck, it's Market One. Same thing with K-Rock LA didn't play us at first either, for basically the same reasons. So, like I said, I was proud, but it was bittersweet because I feel like at this age and at this point in my life, I feel like I earned my stripes. Maybe it was in other bands, but I do feel like I need to be on that big stage a bit more often than I am, bro. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, because I've been in it for a long time and I paid my dues and but sometimes in the current band I'm in, we are playing in front of 50,000 people, It might be like early in the day, but but fuck, we're still in it. I'm still doing it, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things where you're like, but then some days you're, on Tuesday you're in the club, and there's a few hundred people out there, and that's not to be, listen, I'm grateful. I'm totally grateful to be doing what I'm doing it and with the people that I'm doing it with. But at the same time, it's like, man, that was the bittersweet thing too, man. Like with you with the radio, like, are you ever going to be as big as you were in Orlando on WJRR as Buckethead? Maybe on radio, maybe on podcast, maybe, but think of how you built that and how big it became. I mean, people tuned in for your show, and that's a big market. What's there? How many? It was a couple million people, 3 million people.
Orlando's considered a mid-market. A better example would be Atlanta, top 10 market. And we had a really, when everybody wanted to come to work and did their roles and did their jobs, that show was
monster.
One of the best shows in the country, if not the best. I mean, it was good, really good, but a lot of things also, and again, I'm sure you can understand this, are out of your control. Yeah. And so, you can only control so much. And I wish, if I would talk to the younger version of me, is the advice I give to people, I wish I would have taken my own advice and don't sweat what you can't control. Yeah. But as a leader, especially of a show, I'm trying to control everything, and I'm a control freak because I have a vision and I know what needs to happen in order for it to be successful. Mm-hmm. And when, there are things that you can't control, management, you can't control listeners, you can't control it. I mean, it's literally put me in the hospital because of stress and all these other things. I just wish I could be one of those guys, man, that just don't give a fuck. And good things happen. And I'm hoping 2026 is that I'm teaching myself. I'm trying to teach myself to take the advice of Booger from Risky Business. Sometimes you just have to say, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I wish I could do that. But again, I think you and I are very much the same as far as we're workaholics, we're perfectionists, you know, we're visionaries, we're creative, and we want to do it. But, you know, this podcasting is very difficult. You know, if you're not, you know, having a second job of being a stand-up comedian or playing football or in a movie, it's tough, you know, for people to listen, follow, and support, and then be an army to support.
Yeah.
It's
which thank you all for listening, but throw that in there and for supporting, and the Vinyl Roadies and everybody jumping on board. I mean, hell, I didn't come up with that name. Chris Gauthier did. That was cool. Right. But I mean, that's good. The Vinyl Roadies. I mean, and I think it's cool when people, you know, put their own spin on what you're doing and their own energy, and they nicknamed, and that became the group. That's it. I mean, that's cool, man. Like, you know, I mean, we came up with the name, but we didn't come up with that part of it.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Chris did come up with that. You know, and that's the other thing that I got to work on. I don't know about you. Do you have a problem with patience? Do you struggle with patience?
Yes, that's pretty bad.
I'm horrible.
That's yeah. I know, dude. Yeah, I'm pretty bad. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
I had this conversation with my wife the other day. I said, I was trying to get something done. I don't know if I forget what it was for. It might've been for the spa or something, but I was like, and it was the day after Christmas. And I was like, I just don't understand why they're not getting back to me. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was my web designer lady. And like 2 days went by, like I didn't get any response back. And she goes, she's probably on vacation. I'm like, she works for herself.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, but she's probably taking time. She goes, you have to understand, normal people, when they say they're on vacation, they're on vacation. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's the best time to work, is when you're on vacation, because there's no work that needs to be accomplished. So you can do work to get ahead. So the work is not as hard when you actually have to do the work. And she goes, nobody thinks like that.
No, that's pretty different, actually. I mean, but some jobs you can't really be on vacation. Like if I'm doing real estate and shit, and there's offers coming in, I'm like, sorry, honey, but I got to look at this offer and field it, and now they've agreed to it with changes. Now I got to go in there and fix it. I mean, I guess I could outsource that, but now that's part of your commission and your income if you start outsourcing your job to people, vacation or otherwise. Mm-hmm. You know, so I mean, but then it's like, well, you just can't relax. You can't be on vacation. I'm like, God, I guess I am one of those people that can't be on vacation. Fuck, I don't know. It's yeah, and you know, I'm bad about, like, if I'm on vacation too long, I'm like, okay, is it over yet? Let's take it on back to the house. I mean, I'm ready. I'm always gone anyways. I'm always not on vacation. I'm out there working, doing, you know, playing music, but I'm always gone, at least not always gone, but you know, I'm gone a lot. So it's like, then when I'm on vacation, I'm like, I kind of feel like I've been gone too long now. Like, again, I just want to go home and be with, you know, be home again, you know, shit.
I mean, like 9 out of 10 times, and we don't go on vacations often. Like we have one big vacation out of the year. We go to Atlantis in the Bahamas, but 9 out of 10 times, and we've been doing this for over 10 years. When we're coming home, I'm excited to come home.
Me too, dude. I'm counting on she's like, so that's how she'll be like, you can't wait to get home. I know it. I can tell you've already checked out of this vacation. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Dude, when we did Shiprocked, it was, but you know, we only had to do like a couple shows, and we had to do like a 3-hour meet and greet, but that was all we were really obligated to do. But it was still like a 5 or a 7-day thing, man. Dude, by the end, I was like, you cannot get me off this fucking ship fast enough, dude. I'm like, seriously, can I jump into the water, into a boat or something? Can you helicopter me somewhere else, dude? Like, I can't do it. I don't want to do it anymore. And that's the problem with the fucking cruise ship. You can't just get in your car and fucking drive off the fucking vacation. You can't do it. You're stuck.
The white flag.
yeah, I was like, dude.
Put me on a dinghy.
Where's the dinghy? The fucking Titanic lifeboat, for fuck's sake. Something. Get me out of here, dude. I couldn't, because we'd already did what we needed to do. And I'm like, now we're just kind of sitting out here. It's drinking too much, doing too much, it was funny, dude. Sorry,
And
my
you, and
camera.
then you say to yourself, you're like, okay, I could be doing something productive right now.
Totally.
Right. I could
Yes.
be doing something else. And that's how I'm always, my wife's like, I'll be up in my studio till, I like to try to shut it down by like 7, but she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just getting ready for the week. I'm trying to get ahead. And
Yeah.
she's like, you've been up there since 6 a.m. I go, I know. I came up with an idea. I found this whole cool little AI thing in CapCut, and now I'm making these funny videos and this and this and that. And it's like never ending and I can't shut it off.
That's how I am with writing songs. If I've come up with something upstairs writing, it's like you get in the zone and then you're like, dude, it's fucking 4 in the morning. I get what you're saying, man. It happens that way sometimes,
So what's the next question is the people that look, okay, so now we've set the bar of that's who we are, and many of you listening might be like that too. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, this is not this is a 50-50 split with people, right? So there's the us and there's the them.
Yeah.
The them looks at us like we're crazy.
Yeah.
Why are we the crazy ones when we're trying to be productive? Like what?
But do you think it's because maybe they have more of a traditional like 9 to 5 schedule to where
Absolutely.
Once they get out of that place and they're like, dude, I need to get just the fuck out for a couple of weeks or however, they don't miss it. They don't want to come home necessarily. But with the way we do things, it's different, man. But so it's like, I don't know. There is a difference.
It's very simple. It's very simple to explain. There's the job mentality, 9 to 5. And
Sure.
you're done. Then there's the career mentality where you don't mind working 24/7, 365.
Almost more like an entrepreneur type. Is that
Correct.
what you're saying? More
Absolutely.
like, because if you're working, you'll spend hundreds of hours doing something you love or something that you're in control of. And that's your baby, but you loathe every second of every day that you're doing it for someone else at a job type situation.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Because when
You're
you're
fucking hating life. Yeah.
when you might love your job, but
It's still a job.
it's still a job, and you're working for someone else, and they're reaping the benefits, and the loyalty is ice thin. So it could all end today.
Yeah.
When you're working for yourself, you're just every idea and everything that you do, you're just continuing to build those blocks piece by piece by piece by piece, whether it's a post or whether it's a lyric or whether it's a whatever, that's, productive. And I like to be productive. I don't know. I like to be productive.
I agree, man. And even again, back to also for me doing real estate on the side as my side hustle, I mean, there is a grind part of it that, if you're in it and you're trying to get leads and work leads and do this and that. I typically don't do that as much, but your schedule has to be pretty open too, though. Like, right? You can't, if something comes up on a Saturday or this or that on a Sunday, you can't just be like, I'll get to it, tomorrow or something. No, you have to deal with it right then, pretty much. That's what we're saying. If you're on vacation, okay, an offer came in that expires tomorrow at noon. You can't wait you have to give it the offer immediately over to your your seller or buyer.
When Rach was doing real estate, before we opened up Alive, I mean, it's years ago, and we would be in the Bahamas, and she literally was closing deals on the beach.
Yeah.
In the pool. Like she's on her phone and she has her laptop out there. And she's like, well, I hope I'll be done here. So I'm like, take your time. I mean, it's money. I'm like,
at that point, you can't really, it's like, this is our livelihood, vacation or not.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
It's got to get done. Yeah.
It's like, I'm the wrong guy to say sorry to. Like, I'm all for it. I love actually, it makes me hot. That's sexy to see a chick work on vacation in the pool in her bikini.
In a bikini? Hey, ain't bad. Better than in the office somewhere where you can't see her.
Hot. Yeah. Turn me on. We hope that 2026 is great for everybody. However you
Absolutely.
work, however you function, however you tick. I if you listen to, I forget what episode of the BS this week, but Ben and I go through, like, I literally just go through every detail of why 2026 is not just going to be good for you, but going to be great. And it all stemmed not only just from a vibe, but from this odd conversation where I had with this random woman that came into the spa, and her and I were simpaticos, thinking the exact same thing. And she, dude, runs down the reasons for 2026 being a great year, from theology to mythology to functionology to every ology that you could possibly imagine. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I agree.
Hell yeah.
So
lay it on me. What did she say? What is it? I mean, do I have to wait for the 3-Eye Atlas to come?
No, it's we'll go into more detail on the show. I think it was Thursday's released episode of the BS, but numerology, it was like it all added the way that the numerology did the numbers, it came to 1, which means a new beginning. And if you look in
because 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 6 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. I know how that works. Yes,
yep.
Yes.
Boom.
Okay.
There you go. Exactly. That was it. That was it. You're nicely done.
Yeah.
So you have that idea of it, the idea of religion, especially in Hinduism, which, again, not to get deep onto the religions, but Hindu is the oldest religion that exists, but it's, unlike other religions like Christianity and Judaism and all those other, it's, you could argue the point that it's based more off of, how do I say this without offending any Hindus? Fucking aliens, dude. I mean, like,
basically, man, or they think they just didn't know how to describe them back then, but that's probably what they were. They're either interdimensional beings or they were planting seeds on this planet. Yes, absolutely, man. Or you go back to the Sumerians and the Anunnaki and the Nephilim, or even biblical stuff, though, man. I mean,
so all religions, with Hindu, your top dog is Shiva, and Shiva represents, with the third eye, 2 different things. It's split down the middle. You cannot have growth without destruction. And so 2026 is supposed to be a year of growth. And then you get into the Christianity version of it, which also leans into the growth and the what type of army, a specific army, and where people will be more realizing their faith and getting back more into faith and this and that, which I can totally see with last year's events. The political climate, when you get into that, and you start
like an awakening.
Correct.
Like an awakening. Like they're saying that we've been not asleep, but that there's knowledge that we may have sort of forgotten, or that has been not hidden from us, but maybe kept from us, that people are remembering. And
or people have it, and they just haven't, for whatever reason, tapped into it.
Developed a way to tap into it. Maybe they need to pray more, or meditate, or do yoga, or Reiki if you're, Asian, whatever, or Japanese.
Which all leads into positive growth. Then you get into the predictions of Nostradamus and Papa Vanga, leaning into certain animals like bees, which arguably are the most important animal on the planet.
Yes, they are.
And then growth within the politics of leaders, whether it's Trump or Putin or whoever, pick your poison, but just all pointing positive for the most part. And most of his quatrains, you got to figure it all out and stuff, but all kind of seem doom and gloom. This one kind of points to more positive. Papa Vanga's was the same exact way. So it was all good. And then you look at what we do know moving into 2026 from the political spectrum, and the big beautiful bill. This is just fact. This is not a political statement here, but in that big beautiful bill, with the bad you get the good, and with the good you get the bad. But there will be more money floating around in the economy, there's no tax on tips and so on and so forth. So if they can get this insurance thing under wraps, more people will be spending, which means more people, more money into the economy, which means more consumerism, means more growth, so on and so forth. It's all snowballs.
It's happening. Yeah, good. I like to hear that, and I feel like everything that I've been reading has sort of been pointing in that direction as well, where people are more and more, the awareness, the awakening. People are tapping into things, and they're starting to, and with that comes growth. They're not asleep anymore. They're waking up to, and also there's certain certain things that are coming out too that are going to shine some light on things that maybe have been in the dark and kept from people too, right? I mean,
Like,
there's Epstein lists coming out.
okay.
There's shit coming out, bro. Trust me. And there's
we'll never get what we want out of that Epstein list. I mean, you have better luck getting the undoctored documents from JFK's assassination than getting that full Epstein list. And from one side,
with blacked out faces and redacted this and that. Yeah,
everything's redacted. And the reason being is, if you go, oh, you must think this way. I might, but it's going to tear down both sides.
Both sides. Oh, definitely. I'm like, you can't just release it and think that it's only going to fuck with the other side because watch us release this and that and it's going to fuck with them. No, because all y'all motherfuckers were involved in that shit, right?
And
you're all guilty. You're all on the take, both sides. I don't care who you are. Have you seen the Diddy? Did we talk about this?
I refuse.
The Diddy special on
from 50 Cent, from that 50 Cent put together. Are you talking about the one on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay.
Man, my camera keeps moving. Dude.
I refuse to watch it. I know people are talking about it. Let me tell you why, and then go ahead and you can explain it. But I have no desire to learn anything about Sean Combs and what he did. I don't want to defend him. I don't want to castrate him. I don't want anything to do with him because I didn't care about him before. Yeah. I don't care about him now.
I get that. I know. I get that, man. But I mean, it's one of those things where you just see how people can get away with certain things because of the wealth and the fame. And if they're a scumbag to begin with, then you're just a wealthy scumbag and you're doing weird shit to people that you're drugging them. And there's this is pretty dark, but I mean, and then you see what happens to them from a legal with the way the justice system works.
Yeah.
And he's serving 4 years for something, and that's it. I'm like, man, dude, like that. It's just he had. It's there's two systems, or there's there's the system for people on this level, and then there's the system for the rest of us. And I think that's some shit that needs to be changed because it never will because there's power and influence and money and
it's perception. Shit. Perception is reality. I mean, I went through something similar years ago when my mother and I were battling it out in court. And I mean, for my audience from years ago, I've talked about the story a million times, but the short of it is it had to do with the property. She lied. There was paperwork to prove that I was right. But my attorney told me, he's like, you don't want this to go to a jury. And I said, why? I'm right. Everything I'm saying is truthful. I mean, she's literally lying. And he says, well, you're a young quasi celebrity. They're going to look at you as being wealthy, which I was far from it. Right. And they're going to look at her as an elderly woman that you're beating up on.
You're the bully. You're preying on her. Yeah.
I'm going, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, you want to settle out of court. So I came up with a clever, creative way to do it. Again, if you know the story, you know the story, and then it was all said and done. And then we reconnected years later and now we're not talking again, but it's neither here nor there. But I experienced that, I a little bit of that. It's a work. I mean, it's all theater. It's Shakespeare.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Everything about it is like that,
But I mean, it's just frustrating to see that go down, and then you see how many lives it fucked with and shattered, but then you also see some people coming out of the woodwork, and they're like, "No, he did that to me," and then they're like, "But wait, I see texts, all that is documented, saying how much you loved it and you couldn't wait to go back to whatever y'all had together doing it, this and that and the other, and then now you're playing the victim." That shows a lot about them too, though. People, well, she was able to get $1 million, settled out of court, so I was involved too, and I hated every minute of it. It's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You and a lot of those people too. And I'm not saying that there weren't, like I said just a second ago, there was a lot of people that it really shattered their lives, but there was a lot of people that knew exactly what they were getting into as well.
Yeah.
And still went to those parties and did those things. There's a lot of people that were at those parties.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
Like people doing some dirty, weird shit too but of course, what's happened to them? What's happened to those people?
So there
Nothing.
Was in the early to mid 2000s, I was on this run of wanting to produce, like one of my dreams was to develop a TV show. I didn't have to be in it and then star in it. I just wanted a credit of executive producer, like my creative idea on television. And so I start writing all these TV shows. A lot harder to do than what you think.
Yeah, it's very hard. Yeah.
One of the shows I wrote a treatment, got it registered, and then ended up shooting an actual sizzle reel for it. It was called Varsity Parents. And the concept was getting families and showcasing mothers and fathers living vicariously through their kids in sports. You know, that crazy mom at the football game, you know, that crazy dad that's screaming and yelling. And so there's this one guy that I found, Hispanic guy, and I wish I could find his name because I remember, you know, he was kind of my star. And I remember, you know, talking with him as we were doing this. He had worked for P. Diddy.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, he was like an assistant. And I believed him because I saw pictures of it was like all through his house. He like, you know, and I mean, that was 20 years ago. That guy, I've not seen him on the news or on social media talking about it, but I bet you anything, that guy has got some stories.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
You think? Of course, he was at ground zero right there with them, man. And
Ground zero, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a shame. It really,
reminds you of the old Shinedown days, of the old parties with the slip and slides and all that good stuff. I'm just kidding.
We didn't really do any of that shit, man. But maybe your friends in the 80s did, you know, your favorites. I'm sure there was some poison parties that were pretty ripping. You know, God only knows what happened to those fucking things. Motley Crue. I mean, think about Motley Crue. You see it in the books. Yeah, at least they wrote about some of it. And imagine what they didn't write about, though, you know.
So compare what we hear about these P. Diddy parties to the old days, the young days of Brad being in Shinedown and the Shinedown parties from the early days. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would the Shinedown parties rank?
I don't think we'd rank at all. Is there a 0 or negative numbers, man? I mean, you got to imagine that at their level. Diddy's throwing parties, and I mean, there's unlimited booze, money, drugs, whatever the fuck you want. I mean, if you want to, we didn't have that. Sorry, I hate to disappoint you, but we didn't do it that way, man. We were
all Shinedown parties.
We were boring, but it was just like, I don't know, man. It was, especially because you got to remember when I was in the band, we still were on our way up, right? It wasn't like all of a sudden we're hit superstardom, record 1, single 1, you know?
Now, are you trying to tell me that the Shinedown parties were all BYOB?
Well, actually, I will say our writer, we were, I want to say, more about Kettle One vodka. So we at least had that. We were
you crazy party animals, you.
Well, Brent would drink whiskey, and we all kind of had our moments with certain things. But yeah, I can't really say no P. Diddy level, and plus, I mean, it just, I don't know, man. That some of that shit, it's not as cool or not as. I mean, it's for the taking if you want it, and if you take it, then you're probably going to realize it wasn't that great to start with. You know what I mean?
Like the groupies and stuff like that you're talking about.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you've been married your entire career.
Exactly. That.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and I've known musicians that were married and just couldn't resist the urge, and I've known musicians that were married and took it very seriously. And I always had mad respect for that because I am not a fan of cheaters at all. So like my friends in the business that I would see married, even at the young, early days, as I watched them get success, and I would see the girls, and I would be at some of the, backstage parties or whatever the case may be. And I'd watch, they had to develop and learn how to gracefully and politely turn them down. So they didn't, because all the girl has to do is like, oh, he must be gay or he's a dick. He doesn't want us, that kind of thing. But to actually uphold your vows and be cool and be a dad and be a husband, man, that's rock star. That's cool. That's the shizzles right there to me personally,
I think too, just, in typical situations between men and women and typically the man is the pursuer, right?
Yes. And when the
Just
chick
realized,
is, it's kind of hot though. I don't know what's in it.
but I mean, I'm just saying, like, oh man, my mic finally came on properly. Sorry, I just turned it. I didn't realize it.
Your mic hasn't been working the whole show.
I must have switched to like the computer mic because now I can see. No,
Oh.
it's rocking. This is a Sphere mic. It's the universal audio thing, and I have to like link the channels and do some things, and then
Oh, you do
um,
sound better. Oh, sorry guys for
it's
listening.
yeah, it sounds
Like,
100 times better now because of it's crazy. I upgraded my system, and this came free with it. It's like $1,000 microphone, and
really?
it came. I mean, you have to buy the plug-in to deal with it, which wasn't very much money, but the mic came with it. Yeah, I have the Apollo X8P.
Ooh, fancy.
So it's fancy.
Fancy.
But yeah, now it sounds a lot better. I can tell a big difference. But sorry, folks. It must have been just going through the channel, but not on the mic plug, because it acts as a normal mic when the plug-in is not engaged. It just acts like a flat.
I should have found that when we started. That's my fault because it did sound a little weird. I should have said something. My fault. Hey, before because we'll wrap this up here in a little bit, but 2026 Saliva news. I know you have some shows. One show in particular, pretty crazy. Do we have any, as of this episode, tour news for Saliva?
Well, we were going to do a show in Texas City on the 3rd, which when this comes out, will it come out on the 3rd? Let me see.
No, it's like the 3rd. I think it's tomorrow, like a Saturday, right?
Oh yeah. So it got moved to March 21st. We had just played in Galveston, and Texas City is like right near Galveston. We played the Lone Star Rally down there in Galveston, Texas. So when I saw that pop up on the 3rd, I was like, wait, weren't we just there? Like, you want to take, 3 to 6 months between hitting the same areas, because people, if they just saw you there, then I go pay to see you again. You just there, you got to give some time to build the demand back up, in the whichever market. So anyhow, it's the guy's a friend of Bobby and of the band, but it's a new venue. And they were like, wow, man, it was going to be a New Year's show. And then the New Year's thing didn't happen, but they were like, we still want to do it in that, in that time frame. And it got to the point where it's like, no, we got to move the show. So, I mean, I literally just got back yesterday from the shows in Missouri and Oklahoma, which, man, in Oklahoma, dude, it was like fucking 30 something degrees, but it was was like in the teens or 20s. Like, fly my ass back to Florida. Then I get to Florida and the shit comes through, and now it's the same. Now it's 30 something out there, man. Like, no. So okay. So besides that, yeah, that show got moved. We're playing either Marineland or SeaWorld on the 1st of February. I think it's Marineland. But that news just came up. See, whenever I go back out there and I'm around everybody.
Fuck is Marineland? What is that?
Isn't Marineland, and it's in Florida? That must be SeaWorld then.
I've never heard of I thought it was like for something for the United States Army
Marines
services, like Marines.
You never fucking dude. You never heard of Marineland? Come on, bro.
No, I've heard of SeaWorld, but I've never heard of Marineland.
It's in hold on.
That's not
Dolphin Avenue. Yeah. Hold on. It's
not
a thing. It's like an aquarium type shit or something down there.
It's not Orlando.
No, it's on the coast. It's like yeah. It's on the coast.
Oh.
So anyhow, we're playing one of those places on the 1st.
Something with fish.
Something to do with fucking big fish. We're gonna see Shamu, which if it was Shamu, it'd have to be SeaWorld, or we're gonna swim with dolphins.
Yeah.
Is it Dolphin Cove? What is that place in Orlando? Discovery Cove, where you can
that's
or something.
Yeah, that's SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that not too long ago, dude. That's cool, man. Have you done that?
I haven't done it there, but I've done it in Atlantis in the Bahamas. It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You find out. One thing that you find out about dolphins is they'll fuck you. Like
they will. They will, hopefully not. But I mean, they've given the opportunity. They're sexual little bastards. Yeah.
They are. Like that's what they teach you when you swim with the dolphins. It's like, all right, we just got 2 rules. It's like, don't put anything in their holes and be careful because they're gonna fuck you.
They might try to rape you. Yeah. It might be a Diddy party all over again. Like, you better not get drugged up in there either. Shit. Go in sober, for fuck's sake. And
I want to hear about this Saliva show. You say it, where it's going to be in Russia.
There's actually going to be several shows. Come to find out, I think Moscow, St. Petersburg. There's going to be, so we're going to go over there at the end of April and play
Never
Russia.
Come back.
Scary, right? No, my friends, I've never been to Russia, but I've had friends that have played there, and they're like, no, dude, actually, people are really nice to you over there, and everything. And you usually have like a translator, and like you're rolling as like like an entourage, this group, and they kind of coddle you and keep you, from straying from the path, because you don't want to fuck up in Russia, dude. I'll tell you that much. That much I do know. But yeah, so that came up pretty recently too. I guess they're trying to have more American bands come over there. Actually, I think Limp Bizkit was just over there pretty recently. Before Sam had passed. That was earlier in the year.
You should.
I think it was right after the Metallica tour they did. But what's that?
You should play a song called "Fuck You, Putin" and see what happens to you guys.
No, we were gonna maybe do the Scorpions.
How
to Gorky Park. Our front of house guy hates that song.
Oh my! How do you hate that song? It's one of the best songs ever. Oh my god!
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He hates that shit.
That's crazy. How did you get that gig?
So we're at a different agency now, and a new agency, new opportunities. They have relationships with people all over the world. We have a guy, of course, that handles the bookings for stateside here, but then they typically have a whole part of the company. Now, sometimes bands will just have a separate agent totally for Europe and Russia and or Asia or whatever. They have different agents, and some agencies have their own guy in house that deals, and they're like, hey, maybe they sent Drowning Pool or whoever last year over there, and then the promoter's looking for a different band to come over this year or next year, and we have Saliva on the roster now. We'd like to send them over, and what I'm saying. So it's one of those things. It's dude, this business is timing and relationships.
Yeah,
period.
That's cool.
Then this is a relationship thing,
That's cool, man. I mean, that's like really
I'm excited, dude. Fuck, I'll fucking rip in Moscow. You kidding? It's gonna be fun, dude.
Yeah.
Drink some. I'm trying not to drink vodka, but man,
yeah,
I don't know. You go right to the source.
Paid American dollars or rubles?
Rubles. Yeah, I don't know.
Bushki. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vladimir. This is my friend Natasha, and we would like to bring up to the stage an American band by the name of Saliva. Saliva. Ladies and gentlemen.
Have some Stolichnaya. Yeah, vodka. Yeah, I don't know, man. Thankfully, I don't think it's going to be cold at that time.
Isn't it always cold? That's what I always
think. It won't be as cold as it could be. It's not going to be Siberia cold, but yeah, into April it should be somewhat milder.
Please wear a Bushki hat. Those little
yeah. I don't want to offend him either, man. I heard I heard some things. I did hear that people that have gone there that you have to be careful if they offer you things or if situations are presented to you like, hey, you're going to be needed in this room for a meeting. And you're like, I'd never heard of this meeting. You may not want to go to the meeting because, there is some mobster shit going on there. There's the mob that runs certain. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never been to Russia, so I don't.
Yeah, let's just say you got to be careful and you got to go with people that have been before. Yeah. So they can kind of protect you and guide you.
Well, I don't have any plans. I mean, we did have a cruise booked that's, went through the Ukraine and then went up to Russia and, but we decided to cancel it. I heard there's a little commotion going on right now. So we're going to push that vacation off. But when we do rebook and some mobster Russian guy asks me to go into a room, I'll remember this conversation.
You might not want to go.
Yeah. I go, Rach, Brad told me not to go. We need not to go in this room. I used to date a girl, years ago. She's Russian, scared me. Her name was Natasha, shocker. And she wouldn't tell me a thing about herself. She's beautiful. And even the way we met, when I look back on it, and it was like, that was kind of weird. Absolutely gorgeous girl. She worked for this company made crazy money. Her boss was Middle Eastern. All of her friends were Eastern European or Middle Eastern. And I met him one night in the back of like this restaurant. It was like, and I know Orlando, at least at the time, like the back of my hand. And I'd never been to this place. And I walked in and it was just filled with smoke and sketchy as all shit. And it seemed like every guy owned their own business, and the majority of them were in the ATM business. It was so weird. Like, hey, what do you do, man? I own a bunch of ATM machines. I was like, is that your Maserati outside? That's one of 5. Yes.
Yeah. I'm in the wrong business, or something weird's going on here. Like, what the fuck?
Anyway, I find like her story was crazy that as a kid, her parents shipped her over to the United States to live with a foster family because she was sexually assaulted by this man. And this man was then later found dead on the side of the road with numerous bullet holes from an AK-47 because her father had ties with the KGB.
Oh boy.
I mean, just like, if you want to scare somebody, just tell them this story. And then, so this was the MySpace days. And so I started doing like some research and stuff. She didn't have a lot of stuff on social media, which at the time, no big deal, but still a little weird because it should have been a big deal. And then I started to see pictures of the vodka, like that Slovajevic vodka. It's like white and red and gold and black, long name vodka, kind of a cheaper brand of vodka. I come to find out her parents own it.
Wow.
It was so weird. And so she did something one night. She said something to me one night when we were in my bedroom, and it just scared me. And I just ghosted her. And I later found out that weeks after I didn't talk to her, numerous times she would show up at my house. I just would have not be there. And my neighbors said that she would show up and she would pound on the windows for me. It's just fucking weird, dude.
Wow.
I haven't seen her since. Thank God. I hope she's doing well. Bless her heart. Dude.
That is something. Hey, man. Good thing you didn't really screw her over. Bad. I
didn't screw her over at all. She just scared me. I mean, that was my trip to Russia. I mean, cool chick, great at a lot of things, but just scary. Just her friends scared me too. Like the guys scared. I mean, I shouldn't have been scared, but it was just weird. It was
different breed, man. I don't know. I don't know too many Russians, but I mean, I hear they're nice. I mean, the normal ones, I guess it can be extreme, Americans too, though, so.
I don't have anything from Russia. So when you go over there, will you bring me a souvenir, please?
Yeah. What do you want?
I don't know. Like I've been to Russia. I survived Russia t-shirt.
Yeah. Little shot glass. Yeah.
Something. I mean, you can bring me back 10 from the bar. I don't care. Like what? I don't have anything from Russia. I just want something from Russia.
Okay.
That's all.
I went to Moscow and all I got was this lousy t-shirt or this fucking thing of vodka. All right. I'll figure something out. Yeah, man. I got you.
It's already midnight one night. I'm going to get a phone call and, hey, Bailey, it's Brad. What are you doing, man? You said you wanted something. Here's my new friend. Hello, this is Vladimir Putin. Bushki. I'm here rocking out with Saliva. They played one hell of a fucking show tonight, Bailey. You should have. You said you wanted something, dude. How about that?
It's like Rodman going over there and he's bros with old what's his face in North Korea. Yeah. Like, what is. How'd that happen? That's crazy.
When you go to Russia and Saliva plays there in this year, you know who might be at your show is Steven Seagal. He's like big into Russia. He's like a Russian now, I think.
Is he? When did that happen? Like,
dude, he's been like this for years, dude. He took all of his talents and went to Russia, and he's all fat and he does these fake fight videos and stuff.
Yeah, man, when you're a kid though, Steven Seagal was badass with Aikido and what was that? Above the Law and Hard to Kill. Remember those movies? Dude, we used to watch that shit. Oh, it was cool, man. I mean, the storyline and the acting was shit, but like the fight scenes and just
it was cool.
Yes.
What's the one where he and his wife get shot at the beginning and his buddy hides them and then the girl takes care of him and then it's the montage of him training and then he comes back and he's back in shape and he's got muscles. He's never really muscly guy, but he's good to go. What was that one? You remember?
I think that is Hard to Kill. Above the Law, I think was the first one. He's a cop, Nico or whatever, or maybe it's the same character. I can't remember if it was kind of like a series type thing, but they shoot him up in the beginning but they didn't kill him. get hard to kill. See?
Hard to kill. Hard.
It's possible. So then he figures it out and comes back for revenge. It's one of those revenge things,
Yeah, that was the
I
good
love a good revenge movie.
That was the one with the Jamaicans, right?
Oh.
And it had
Screwface is dead.
Yeah.
Dead and about to be buried. The guy had dreads. Yes.
Wasn't Anthony Anderson was in it, and
yeah,
and they had the dreads, and he was like two of the same guy, and they were into like Santeria or something weird like that. That was a good one. That was I gotta honestly say, I don't think Steven Seagal ever made a good bad movie.
I think which you as long as you knew what you're getting going into it, it couldn't be bad, because you like that kind of movie. Right?
There's an entire generation that doesn't understand that line. They don't understand what a good bad movie is. Yeah. The 80s were filled with good bad movies.
Chuck Norris made some too, right?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh yeah, he was the king of those fucking things.
King of good bad movies.
Yes.
I mean, dude, the guy splits on the countertop so he doesn't get electrocuted. Time Cop. Dude, I mean, all kinds of them. So
what about Swayze, dude, in Roadhouse?
Swayze made
that was a good bad movie, right?
Great bad movie. The conspiracy, like the theories behind that.
No, this is one conspiracy I don't think I know about. What
happened? Oh my God, Ben and I talk about these all the time. There's a podcast out there called Confused Breakfast, and that's all they talk about is like these weird movie conspiracies. So Patrick Swayze's character, if you take Dirty Dancing, you can link them from Dirty Dancing to Roadhouse to Point Break. And there's all these different lines, one in particular that in Point Break, he makes a reference to Keanu Reeves about his 57 Chevy, which was the same car he had in Dirty Dancing. So he started out as a dance instructor in the Catskills. And then after he gets kicked out and treated like shit from the rich folk, he decides to go and leave New York, travel to the Midwest, where he becomes a cooler. First a bouncer, which we don't see or know about, but then becomes a cooler. That's his life. He wanted to change his life. Then after his friend dies, i.e. Sam Elliott, and things don't work out there at the Double Deuce, he makes his way to LA, still doesn't have his fortune, and says, look, I'm going to get it the hard way, and starts robbing banks. I mean, it's good.
Okay.
Just like the theory that I just learned about is that Polar Express is actually Back to the Future 4.
Huh.
Yeah.
How? Explain that one.
Oh, dude, you've got to listen to the shows. Both Robert Zemeckis films.
True. Okay.
At the end of Back to the Future 3, Doc Brown's new time machine is a train. In Polar Express, there is an Easter egg of the flux capacitor. Okay. There are the same sound effects of when Santa decides to go and give the prizes to the kids at midnight from the North Pole as what the DeLorean would make when it was traveling. I mean, there's a laundry list of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I like shit like that though. It's fun, man. It's like the Kubrick thing I think we discussed before with the whole space, the conspiracy, the moon landing and stuff. He had put clues into the movie The Shining.
Yeah.
I'm sure with that. Yeah, man. And then, after he did that, he said that they would no longer be able to censor or edit his movies, and he would turn in films like Eyes Wide Shut, but they edited it, remember? And he got pissed.
Yes.
He died 6 days later and under mysterious circumstances. So it'd be interesting to see the unedited version of that one.
Of Eyes Wide Shut.
They took like 30 minutes out of the fucking thing or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway,
we could go on and on.
I know.
Well, look, listen, we're excited to bring you shows for 2026. We were going to talk some music-y stuff. We can talk about that next episode, the Glenn Hughes stuff and whatnot. But anyway, we appreciate you guys. We hope that you continue to support the podcast and hang out with us. I mean, literally no rhyme, no reason. Yeah, we talk rock and roll life stories on the road and everything in between. But dude, we're just here to bullshit with you. I mean, I know most of you that are listening are huge fans of Brad's, and this is the best way over his 30 plus year career. And I think, I don't know, tell me if I'm off here, bro, but this is the most open and as far as the arena that you've ever been in. So your fan base can get to know you better and learn about you. And that's really what this show's about. I mean, that
absolutely.
Kind of
and hopefully it's somewhat interesting to you. Yeah, I've always been pretty private. I mean, with just how, but this is a cool way for me to voice my opinions and tell stories about my career and even my current opinions on things and my knowledge I've been able to gain, over the course of time. People would always hit me up on socials and ask me questions about the music business, and instead of doing it that way, I can just talk about it openly on here for the most part, unless I'm contractually bound not to say certain things. But you know what I'm saying? And that's cool for me because people just have this idea about how things go, and typically there's more to the story, and I can at least maybe shed some light on it to where they know a little bit more about what they're getting themselves into.
Question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
Why did you decide to change your signature? Your early signature is not like your current signature. Is that true?
Well, I was new and I was like, it looked almost more like a heartbeat, like a little, like a EKG reading or something,
Yeah.
And then people were like, well, who's this? The people couldn't recognize who in the band it was. So I was like, maybe I changed it to make it to where you could at least see the BS part.
Yeah.
The only thing you could at least make that part out, and then the T on the end, because Brent Smith though is BS too.
Yeah.
But he would actually write. You could see his letters a bit better, but I just decided to change it, and then I never went back, and that's been it since I changed it. So, and if you look on my signature pics, that's the signature.
Yeah, that wasn't me being creepy. That was Jameson on Spotify. You can leave comments. So,
oh yeah.
Last episode, he just random comment. Brad, why'd you decide to change your signature? And so that's your answer, Jameson. I hope that satisfies your knowledge and thirst of knowledge for the Brad signature switcheroo. All right.
One day it's going to be a signature series on a bass guitar. Wink, wink. Fender, somebody, let's go.
That would be cool. The Brad Stewart signature bass guitar.
Yes.
So we could find somebody that can do that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, I got a new connection here in Central Florida that I'm going to try to put something together, get you guys back down here, and probably try to add like Lilac, see if they'll front the bill, Also, back to the podcast thing that, now that you're doing the podcasting stuff, we are doing the podcasting stuff. It gets kind of, people think it's easy, and it's not. And there's a lot of time you got to put into it. And there's a lot of effort, and there's a lot of stuff that happens outside of just recording. Like, we just don't record and then poof, it appears everywhere. There's more to it.
There's work to it.
There's a lot of work to it. Trust me. I do 3 different shows 5 days a week. It's my life. It's my business. But what you see and what you've seen is that other people see what you do and they decide they want to do it as well. Now, they might not necessarily be able to do it as well, but they want to get in on it. So don't be surprised, because I've already seen this with some of your cohorts, is becoming a little bit of a trendsetter. When the radio business, radio people go out, a lot of these radio people, they just don't have the work ethic to do what I do. And so they just disappear. And then you get people that actually can do it, know how to do it, and they do it and stuff, and they get an audience and they do this. But comedians and rock stars and stuff, I'm talking about like Bobby. Bobby starts doing a podcast. Like, he didn't come back on here, but he starts doing a podcast. And I was like, dude, why didn't you just jump on with us? But he's doing his own. That's great. I love the guy. I hope he does well. But I'm just saying, you're a trendsetter. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you're going to have the guys, drummer girl and guy in the band and everybody in Saliva is doing their own podcast. And it'll all be coming from Brad Stewart. I'm just saying,
I'm a trailblazer, man. What can I say?
That's the word I was looking for. Trailblazer.
I'm blazing trails, man. I'm setting it all up for everybody to follow behind me.
You're a trailblazer, leaving trails like the DeLorean did in Back to the Future.
Bam! Bazinga! Yeah, that's it. I like the way you tied that in there, baby.
So if you're a musician and you start a podcast after the Vinyl Road podcast started with Brad Stewart, you are copying Brad Stewart. That's what we're saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's official. Yep. You said it, not me, but yes. It's good. That's good.
All right, let's finish things up here. Again, jasonbailey.com. Listen to all the episodes on the BPX, the Bailey Podcast Exchange. Please, I mean, it's all in the same place. It's one feed. Subscribe to the episodes that you need to subscribe to. That's only on Spotify. All the shows are video. They're fun. They're cool. They're different content. They're different things. And again, you can go to the website or you can listen and see what's to offer. Follow us on YouTube. The show is not only on Spotify because this is a free episode, a free show, but it's also on YouTube. So you can find us on the BPX YouTube channel and subscribe to that. That's free of charge. The merch is up on the website. All of our great sponsors for the BPX are there. Use them if you need them. And if you are a business and would like to sponsor all of the shows, you not only get this show, but all of the shows, reach out. It goes to me. We have a conversation. We bullshit, maybe get on a Zoom, see each other's face, be like, what's up? And I give you all the details and lowdown, and it's cool. And it's fun, and it's good, and it's productive, and it's good ROI. With that being said, do you have anything, Brad, before we get out?
Just like I always say, very grateful for all you listening out there, and for coming to the shows and mentioning the content on here at the show to me. It's cool to hear the feedback from from everybody when I'm out there doing my thing, and like, oh man, like when y'all were talking about on the one episode of this, I never knew that about the music business, man. I didn't know that it worked that way in payola, and I didn't know that the way the radio works and this, and I'm like, I mean, we're educating people on here. As well as, some people that have come on, it's almost like therapy. So no, just hopefully I hope people give a shit. It's cool that they give a shit about it. I'm just super grateful, man. And, namaste and all that business.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is therapy for us, but for those that are listening, like we can talk about the generic stuff in the music business and opinions and news stories and all that stuff. But for the most part, you are going to get like kind of the inside breaking the fourth wall of the music business. We're not trying to, and the radio business, not trying to bash it. We're just being honest and our experience in both, and how it really works. I mean, we're not saying anything that's not true. It's just not said enough, to be honest with you.
Right. And people they just think that, like when Sean was on here, that you write a great song, and that doesn't necessarily mean, even though it connects with people, that it's going to be super popular, and there's reasons behind that. You know what I mean? Because everyone's like, how come that song was never hit? It sounded like a hit to me. And it's like, he told you why. Because it didn't have the machine and the money and the backing. And there are songs that are pretty good songs that have the machine, the money, and the backing behind it that become hits. And there are also artists that have rich daddies and pay for everything and buy people off and shit and this and that, but they never make it. It's really a different thing, man. It's like, it's not like you get a degree in accounting and become an accountant, and then now you're a successful accountant. It's a bit more complicated than that, And I've seen really great players not make it anywhere, and really average players make it all the way, and singers and the whole thing. So it's one of those things where, if nothing else, I hope people can take that away from it. That it's definitely not as easy as you think. Especially to persevere and be in several different, big acts, or even just to survive in it, for a long time. It'll chew you up and spit you out, man. I mean, radio business or music, I guess it's just business in general, because business can be pretty dirty, So.
The best job in the entertainment business, I still stand by this statement, is the dancing fat guy in the suit from Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
Yeah, you said that before. I remember. I mean, that's a gig, right? I mean, he doesn't know anything. You have to just dance and feel the music, and he gets paid.
It's like the guy in the crew for the rapper that gets up on stage and is in the background and just goes, The
hype guy. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Yeah, like the Flavor Flav and shit. Yeah.
That's just like in football. Backup quarterback. Best job in football. Dude. The best gig in football. You get paid a great salary. You never get hurt. You go in, no one expects much from you. And if you win, you're a god. If you lose, it's okay.
The bar's pretty low. You're the backup. Fuck's sake. You might even get replaced by a guy that was on his couch, retired, to come in there, or, and because your backup sucked and you had to get Philip Rivers to come in, anyway. Yeah. That's a good spot, man.
We're just trying to explain and break the fourth wall of the industry. So that's all we're trying to do.
Yeah. It's not.
Look, have yourself a great, safe rest of your day. Happy New Year. If you're going to be doing some drinking, I understand. I get it. If you had too much, please don't get behind the wheel of a car. I've lost way too many friends like that. Also, sure as shit, don't be posting on social media. You will lose friends like that too. Tell a friend to listen to the Vinyl Road. Become a Vinyl Roadie. It is a private Facebook group. Just search for it and you get approved. Unless you're a dick, which I'm sure you're not. We'll talk to you soon. And bye.
I think we should do a podcast about rock and roll. I got some stories.
That's it for this episode. Check out jasonbailey.com for more shows. Until next time.
3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed, details, and to subscribe, jasonbailey.com.